Hello, vinyl community. This is Tommy in North Carolina, and let's do it. Let's talk about the list. It came out today, and so I'm going to go over it and give some initial thoughts and maybe some stuff that's on my list or maybe whatever. But let's talk about it, because, I mean, it's always a big deal. This is the Record Store Day list. And so for those of you that don't participate or don't care, just don't watch this video, or maybe don't watch it but give it a thumbs up. You know, just saying. But that's what I'm going to talk about. But before I do that, I got in the mail today my copy of Tales from the Deadwax. This is Andy Borders, Andy's Vinyl Den. This is his comic that those of you that have been following Andy know about it. And so really excited to get this, the first issue. With the VC Vinyl Community logo up here, like the old EC Comics, and of course the tale on Tales from the Crypt, stories from Tales from the Crate, Metal Mickey, and Vinyl Richie in here, and so I'm looking forward to reading it and digging in on this. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, and already looking forward to the second issue. So thanks, Andy. That's awesome, and can't wait to read that. And shout outs to all those guys that are featured in there. So if you haven't been watching those guys' videos, then go watch them. Andy does great videos, as well as Tales from the Crate, Vinyl Richie, Metal Mickey, all worthy channels to be looking at. Now I'm kind of looking at the comic, like going, why am I doing this instead of reading? I should be reading. Oh well. Let's talk about it. Record Store Day list came out today. A lot of speculation, a lot of rumor, and of course me and I'll spend the next month and a half going over this list and highlighting and all that. And I've already highlighted some things on my list. I've checked mark other things, and so and we're just going to go through it and talk about what I see. There's an AC/DC cassette. I know there's quite a few cassette collectors here. Back in Black. The Baby Huey story looks interesting, and that's on Run Out Groove, which is a subsidiary of Rhino and Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers really went all out for this Record Store Day, so there's a lot of Warner and subsidiary Rhino titles. But the first thing I have highlighted on my list is the 2-disc Bradley's Barn by the Beau Brummels. The numbers, again, I said this in my Black Friday video, but these numbers, they put quantities out there. I don't know that these quantities are realistic. And this is the first version of the list, so stuff is subject to change. There may be stuff added. As a matter of fact, I always check Bull Moose's website to kind of get an idea for pricing. And in doing so, I saw some stuff on there that I didn't see on this list, and I also didn't see some stuff on their site that is on this list. So, who knows? Another thing I've got check marked is the Chris Bell single, "I Am the Cosmos, You and Your Sister." That's on Omnivore. They've usually put out a big star release every Record Store Day. This is just a single. It says only 1,300. There's a Chuck Berry Greatest Hits coming out on Sundays. I'm on the fence about it. If you watch my other channel, here's a plug, Daily Records. I talk about Chuck Berry's Greatest Hits. I've got a mono copy of that. Chainsaw Kittens, you know, I'm on the fence about it. Some of these are probably gonna go in and out. On this first page, there's Tim Buckley, Jeff Buckley, lots of Bowie. Man, I wish I had Mick Jagger money. Bowie fans, I've always said that Bowie is made for collectors, because there's always Bowie. There's 3 Bowies here, all 3 Parlophones. One's a 3 LP set. It's a live 78 set. Crazy. There's some Eric Clapton. There's a Clapton box set. A Gene Clark, Backstreet Mirror. Ornette Coleman. Some Cure picture discs. There's a Charlie Daniels thing. There's a Bo Diddley, also on Sunday, 16 all-time greatest hits. That looks quite enticing. There's always a Doors thing. This is The Matrix Part 2 on Rhino. Doctor Who stuff is always coming out. Lots of Doctor Who. Some Duran Duran. Steve Earle and the Dukes. Fans of Steve Earle. Is Billy Hurst a Steve Earle fan? I'm pretty sure he is. And, you know, that might be something to think about. You know, all this stuff. I'm just kind of there's an alternate Tango in the Night by Fleetwood Mac. There's a picture disc of John Fogerty's Centerfield. None of this stuff is on my must. There's a Dap Kings, Sean's Lock. I know you're a Dap Kings fan, as am I. So this is more of an instrumental thing, I think. There's an Albert Hammond Jr., Grant Green. There's a Grateful Dead box set, Government Mule, some Marvin Gaye, a Hawkwind. One of the things I've got highlighted here is Joshua Headley. It's a 45 on Third Man Records. Broken Man singing a new song. I've also pre-ordered his album from Third Man. Country singer. I've seen him a couple of times. He toured with Johnny Fritz. I saw him last year opening with Margot Price. And really good artist. He signed to Third Man. His debut album's about to come out. Go check him out. He's really great. If you like classic country music, he's right up there doing good stuff. There's a Hendrix single, Manish Boy. There's a Kinks, Phobia. It's on the Friday Music label. I am skeptical of Friday music and all things Friday music, so I'm out on that. Ben Queller, Sha Sha. That is a great power pop album, and that's on my checkmark list. So there's a Led Zeppelin 45. Looks interesting. George Martin, Beatles to Bond and Bach. Music on vinyl. 2,500 copies. Interesting. But my next yellow one here is a mono Piper at the Gates of Dawn on Legacy by Pink Floyd. Jeff Party, there's some Van Morrison. There's an alternative Moon Dance. And there's a 45, The Champ. You know, some 45s. There's some MC5, Iggy Pop, Live at the Ritz. There's Elvis, King in the Ring, which I think is going to be 68 comeback special stuff. 1999 for you Prince fans. There's a Ramones. I mean, there's something for everybody, really. Lou Reed, Chris Robinson Brotherhood. The next one yellowed on my list, which may actually end up not being yellowed, is Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request. It's 3,500 copies. It's on a splattered, colored vinyl. The thing is, I don't have a vinyl copy of that album, and I like it for what it is. And so that right now it's yellow, but it's kind of on the pricey side. And you know, I may just hold out and find an original copy. Adam Sandler, Lalo Schifrin, just going through here. The Smithereens play Tommy. I have that on CD. It's the Who's Tommy. But interesting. Marty Stewart and his fabulous superlatives. Way Out West, Desert Suite. It's a 12-inch. So that's something. Too Short for you rap fans. Short Dogs in the House. There's a U2 12-inch. Lots of so Uncle Tupelo No Depression demos for you Uncle Tupelo fans, Wilco fans. Tom Waits. They're doing individual, looks like individual sets of Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards, which was the big Odds and Sods collection that came out about 10, 12 years ago. So they're releasing, it looks like each one individually. It's a little expensive for my blood. I mean, they're about $33 a pop. And, you know, there's a Whitesnake, 87, self-titled, Johnny Guitar Watson, Wu-Tang. There's a Wu-Tang coming out. A cassette, Enter the Wu-Tang. It's just so much stuff. SpongeBob, you know, just, I mean, going through this, Jeff Beck's Truth, that's also a Friday music release. I love that album, but, not sure. Friday music. Europe, just stuff going on for days. Dave Grusin, the Groundhogs. Go to the website and look for yourself. I'm just going through. Now, here's a must on my list, and I probably almost don't even want to tell you guys because it only says there's 500 copies, but it's Burt Jansch, L.A. Turnaround. It's a very rare record. I'm into it because it features Michael Nesmith as well as Red Rhodes is prominent. There's pedal steel players prominent on that album. So Laser Pace, for all you prog fans out there, a couple of Richard Lloyds. Like I said, Southern Area, Motorhead, Patton Oswalt, just, I mean, there's a question mark in the Mysterious 45. A Rascals box set, the complete singles, A's and B's. It's a 4LP set. It's a little out of my price range, as interesting as it looks. Saxon, Snarky Puppy, you know, it's a big list. Lou Reed and Chris Christopherson. You know, it's just so much stuff. A lot of compilations. I know a lot of you are into those. Just tons of those. Johnny Winter, that's a Friday music release. Again, you know, enter at your own risk. There's an Allman Brothers. Now these are the Record Store Day first releases, which usually means that they're going to come out on Record Store Day, and then later on they're going to get released sort of wide release. And so these are ones that you can almost put on your back burner because you're going to have a shot at them later. And it depends. There's Allman Brothers Atlanta Pop Festival from 1970. There's a Dickie Betts, another David Bowie. So just so much stuff. There's a Johnny Cash Folsom Prison box set. It's about 70 or 80 bucks. Too Rich for My Blood. A John Coltrane My Favorite Things 45. Quite interesting. And Elvis Costello 45. Sean, James Griffiths, Jeff Party. He's doing Someone Else's Heart, the Squeeze song, and it's a collaboration with Questlove. That's gonna be a 45 on Yep Rock Records. So it's the Elvis Costello, and it's got a cool cover on it because it's kind of a throwback to a Squeeze cover. So interesting. There's a Miles Davis. Bob Dylan and the Grateful Dead, Dylan and the Dead, is coming out, and it's not even that expensive, and it's a first release, but it's on a colored vinyl. You know, and I know a lot of people kind of are indifferent to that album, but it's one of the few that Dylan records I don't have on vinyl, so I'm probably in for that. Jerry Garcia, there's usually a Garcia, Robin Hitchcock, John Wesley Harding, Greatest Other People's Hits, that's on Omnivore. Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit, Live at the Twist and Shout. It's a 2007 EP that's coming out on New West, so I'm in for that, you know, being an Isbell fan. There's an Arthur Lee in Love. I'm just, like I said, I'm just reading out stuff. Another one, it's on my yellow list right now, is the Pussycats, the Harry Nilsson, John Lennon album. That one is coming out. I've got an original copy of that, but yeah, being a Nilsson fan, you know, you kind of go in on that. There's a Roxanne picture disc by the Police, The Residents, just stuff for days. Bernard Purdy, Rob Bass, It Takes Two reissue with DJ Easy Rock. There's a Small Faces listed here on the Charlie label, a stereo mix of Lazy Sunday with a mono mix of Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. Bruce Springsteen's Greatest Hits, Soft Cell Sunvolt, just like I said, stuff for days. Twin Peaks, I'm a Twin Peaks fan. Picture disc from the new series of both soundtracks, the score and the soundtrack. Kind of expensive. Kids Are Alright by The Who. Neil Young, Tonight's the Night, Live at the Roxy is a 2 LP set coming out on Warner Brothers. And the Frank Zappa that was supposed to come out Black Friday, Lumpy Gravy and Primordial, that one is on the list, so that one's coming out. And one that was on Bull Moose's site that I saw was Nights in San Francisco, the Eric Burdon and the Animals. That's one that's not on the official list, but it showed up on Bull Moose's site. But you know, it's a good varied list. I said it on Black Friday, and I think I'll say it again. I think what they're going for now is sort of a broad spectrum of stuff for fans of all kinds, and that's cool because I mean the idea is to get people in the stores. Like I said, Record Store Day is a headache as much as it is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fellowship of it, and you know there'll be a video that I'll post. As a matter of fact, my first Vinyl Community video almost a year ago was a Record Store Day video, so you can expect me to do another one for this one. But that's the list. So comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. You know, interact about it. I'm curious to get your thoughts. I love hearing from you guys. I mentioned Daily Records. The other channel that I do, a daily record, a different record every single day. Go check that out. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. Go to the Tales from the Deadwax and order this comic. Support our fellow VCers. Like Andy, and who put a lot of work into this, and it looks really good. Like I said, I'm going to go now and read this. I'm done looking at Record Store Day lists, so now I've got something to do. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.